Alrighty. It's
Where did
coming.
stream leave off?
We're just at the part where Heather invites herself to Kelsey's building party.
Starts rizzing them up. Well, it's okay. Maybe we'll get more viewers this time. This is funny.
That's why Mike was making fun of Crying Child. Crying Child was getting all the chicks with his pathetic voice swag.
Definitely.
All the 7-year-olds that hang out around Crying Child were like, dude, this other 7-year-old is hot. He's crying all the time.
I don't know, Corey. I feel like FNaF 4 minigames specifically tell us that wasn't happening.
Bro, we have to reproject. Someone said we have to reproject.
He most certainly is friends with everyone in town, or may have been. He knows them all, but he's not like good friends with them anymore.
They're being kind of assholes.
I mean, here's the thing, though, is he is also 7. So, if it's a town where people don't really move a lot, then you're gonna know your neighbor.
Yeah, it could also be just, hey, I know that kid. He's the son of the entrepreneur who owns that fucking really successful pizzeria down the street. Of course, I know that guy.
And we also know the laughing kid who, suspiciously shares the same coloring as Freddy Bully. He says, aren't you that kid who cries under the tables all the time? So that's how most people know
it. I mean, and again, if this is a town thing and locals go to Fredbear's a lot, then yeah, they know him. Some of them by name, potentially. Obviously, they don't say his name. That would make our lives a whole lot easier. But there is this kid right outside Fredbear's who's like, hey, where's your toy? This is mine. It hurts you.
It's gonna be really funny when they're just randomly in the next DLC or whatever. We're gonna see him, and it's just gonna be, "Yo, what's up, John?
Yo, what's up? What's up, Michael? What's up, Jeremiah?
Let's go get some supplies."
Again,
sure, George said, but you're not all going to fit. Devon felt very far away, almost like he was watching them on a movie screen. Maybe that was why he was surprised when he saw Mick step forward and say to Kelsey, I thought just me and Devon were going with you today. Kelsey frowned and looked at everyone. Devon knew the problem.
Dude, Mick is a real one, bro. Mick is a real one.
The whole Kelsey comes back and is trying to fight bullies and stuff, but also it's more like he's kind of friends with these kids that pick on him, Well,
yeah, because Corey, I'm not actually arguing that Kelsey is the crying child or whatever.
I know, it's one of those. It's a metaphor. What is a metaphor if not a projection?
We're gonna get into it when we get to the ending, but it does seem like he's specifically targeting outsiders, which is very interesting.
Like how he made him. I like how he made himself blonde. He made himself go Super Saiyan.
To be fair,
he did too.
Targeting outsiders and kids on their own is William's thing. That's because looking at it looking at the Susie minigame and the Timmy thing. Those are both single-player games.
Whoa.
He was waiting for kids at single-player games because it means they're not in a group. Because they would be playing with friends. So he would just wait at the single-player games to see who was lonely.
Yeah,
and this is a lot in fazbear frights. I mean, we see it in Lonely Freddy and stuff of it's the lonely kids on their own that get picked off.
Where's my pencil?
All right, let's continue.
Which was kind of
Kelsey was asking himself, should I be a jerk and blow off the 2 losers, or should I ignore the pretty girls? It wasn't going to be a tough choice. Kelsey was still holding Heather's hand. What a scene! I hate Heather so much.
Wait, so that's what he was actually
No, Devon is.
Okay,
Devon's
that's what Devon thinks.
Okay. Devon can project onto anything.
So he can what?
And Kelsey has obviously done nothing wrong. A girl just came up and grabbed his hand and is like, we should go and hang out or something. And he's just like, I don't know what to do. We know from Devon's perspective, he's pissed off at Kelsey because he thinks he's going to betray them. But we don't actually know what Kelsey is thinking or what his eventual choice would be. Because Kelsey doesn't get to make that choice. George makes the choice for him, saying that they can go, but that they'll have to make 2 trips. Heather then says that she'll sit in the front seat with Kelsey. She's so tiny they can both be under the same seatbelt. The cool kids then hop in the truck and they take off, leaving Devon and Nick behind. Now this is obviously extremely unfair and very cringe. Devon and Nick were there first, they were part of the plans, they made the plans friends with Kelsey, they should have been part of that first trip. The first trip to the mall should have been Devon, Mick, Kelsey, maybe Heather, and then come back.
Oh, wait a minute. I almost forgot to turn ads back on. You almost pulled a fast one on me, chat.
Hey,
you almost
chat,
pulled a fast one on me.
Those ads. Gotta give
show us your information. Show us your information. Show us your information.
They can't see it on stream. Only you guys can.
TD has broken ribs. He needs money to fix that.
You gotta pay his medical bills. This is America, bro.
Truth nuke. It's actually like $400 per emergency room visit.
That's dead ass, guys. So watch your ads.
Oh, I turned money on. Here it is.
Thank you.
Run your pockets. All right.
All right, back to it.
Thank God, David, I have premium. This guy knows what's going on. This guy.
People. Instead, everybody except for those two goes and they get left behind. This is the worst way possible to do this, and obviously it was done on purpose to keep the uncool kids out. So now Devon and Mick have a choice. They can stay here, wait for George, and then go anyway, hang out with the gang, build the clubhouse, and all be friendly. Even if Heather is being a jerk, they can give Kelsey the opportunity to pick which side he actually wants to hang out with. The side that's overtly being mean, or the people that he wanted to hang out with originally, who might be seen as uncool. Devon ended the last section thinking about change. The fact is that if they'd chosen the path of giving Chelsea a choice, it's possible that they could have ended up spending more time with the cool kids. Maybe Heather would have apologized for her actions. Or maybe they would have shown Chelsea that she's shallow to begin with. Maybe they could have been friends, or maybe they would have had a reason to actually dislike them. At the end of the story, you can go back to two decisions that Devon makes. The first was writing the weird story about Heather's sister, and the second one is right now. These are the decisions that will lead to his ruin by the end of the tale. Because right now, Devon chooses for them to leave. He's mad at Kelsey and accuses him of making a move on Heather, which is just clearly not what happened, and Mick calls him out on this. Mick and Devon go and they hang out by a waterfall. A crow poops on Devon's shoulder and he throws a rock at it and kills it. This is the third time we've seen him hit something with perfect accuracy. It's also the first time he's killed something. Devon also says he's found a cool new clubhouse by them.
Specific.
Yeah,
the third time he hits something, he hits a crow.
More, but it's the nonchalantness of it.
Because it was very unnerving there, because he doesn't really go into it. Is like Mick is like, haha, a crow pooped on you. Devon hits a rock at it, it falls down dead, and Devon's like, oh, we can pick that up and like use that for our scavenger hunt. And Mick's like, I'd rather not.
And it's pretty crazy.
Okay, this gets to kind of one of my readings of the story is with the beginning of it and now, Devon is reading of a lot of the beginnings, not even early beginnings, like the hypothesis to the theory of like serial killer behavior, you know, killing small animals and feeling nothing is kind of part of that. Yeah. And then the beforehand, just a lot of like violence. But you would think, okay, why is that important? Because he kind of like, obviously, I think what's important is that he was going down the slow road and Kelsey straight up dying horribly in front of him shocked him completely out of it because he just saw a person die without any buildup. There was no building of immunity or spice tolerance here, you know? They didn't get the time.
This kind of sounds like a commentary on Michael Afton.
Yeah, Shizu, you get me so well. Shizu, this is why I fuck with you. You keep
that's
it
pretty
real.
smart. That's pretty smart, actually.
Look, Corey can turn anything into being about Michael Afton. It's a superpower.
With like certain serial killer behavioral things being somewhat familial, I would not be surprised if Mike was going down the road his dad did and then killed his brother and it completely shocked him right out of it. Just went, whoa, death is real. Oh my God.
Previously, they'd had a conversation with Kelsey about going and, like, urban exploring, finding abandoned buildings, and so Devon was inspired by this, and so he tells Mick that he's found a cool new clubhouse for them. Devon seems very chill to Mick, minus killing a bird. He's talking about Heather and her movies, he's talking about hanging out with Kelsey and bringing him to this abandoned building he found.
I would love that so
School
much.
comes the next day, Devon greets Kelsey with a cheerful greeting, Kelsey apologizes about what happened, he asks if they're okay because George drove back to the school and said that they weren't there, but Devon shrugs it off and says, oh, it was just so aux. It's not Kelsey's fault. Kelsey says that the couple, Quincy and Gabriella, flaked on building the clubhouse, and Heather and her other girlfriends were no help. He does say, but I still don't mind having them around, you know? Devon gave Kelsey a closed-lip smile. Then he said, I know. Kelsey might not know that he's upsetting Devon by saying this, but Mick absolutely picks up on it. And it's kind of weird that
simply all date each other.
Well, Corey, you're missing the fact that Devon is stalking her.
Yeah, I don't think Devon would be cool with that.
Fair enough.
Devon's being very friendly and suggesting that they go and hang out later.
Mm-hmm.
And explore this abandoned building. I wonder what this abandoned building is going to end up being. Do you know what this abandoned building is?
Yay!
Yeah, it's Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Freddy Fazbear Pizza.
Oh my goodness. I wonder who that. Who sung that, chat? I'm having a hard time remembering.
Imagine if it wasn't Freddy's. Imagine if it was just another gas station. There's just nothing FNaF in this entire story.
Ascended or
Mick and Kelsey
descended. I'm not sure
as
which.
they walked, mostly about TV shows.
You know how,
Mick
like,
was
if you keep going west, you end up east, and if you keep going north, you end up south. I think I
no, the Earth is flat.
And I ended up in hell.
If you keep going east, you'll fall off, stupid. Oh my god, let's keep playing.
Going on about a sci-fi show that showed an apocalyptic society in which people were killed for even the smallest mistakes.
If you keep going east, you get to the far lands. Like, the world deloads.
God,
that sounds interesting,
God.
Kelsey said. Kind of up my alley, in an extreme way. What do you mean? Mick asked. Kelsey shrugged. Oh, I just mean I like legal shows.
Okay, but why
I don't think we've ever identified the TV show. It might just be a random, like, throwaway line to get Kelsey to say this shit.
Kelsey likes legal shows and court drama.
Yeah.
Sounds an awful lot like Fredbear and Friends.
So here's also the thing. So what I wonder if
it does.
Point it out, and I wonder if I think I remember Gibby pointing this out. Is that Kelsey earlier the teacher asks the class what all of their versions of justice are, and Kelsey's is like the most chill. He's like, yeah, I think this should be figured out in a court of law without anyone dying, and everyone around him is like, what the hell? Shut up.
Corey, he said like justice is balancing the scales so the good outweighs the bad, and it's like that's not balancing, Kelsey.
That's not balancing, Kelsey. Guys, help, he's stupid.
I can be a real judge someday. A real judge? Devon wondered what that meant. It's at this point that I was starting to guess the end of the story, and I was very wrong. I was right in the general moral gist idea, but I have no idea where it was actually going. This is one of the stories I don't think is actually guessable. It goes completely off the rails, out of left field. They reach the abandoned building, which has been overgrown with vines. There's a parking lot, too. There's a sign on the building that says FAZP. This is different than in Fetch when they go inside.
Do we know where they are? Because I was going to say, what place in Utah has vines?
We are never told where they are specifically. I don't think we even get a climate like we do with Greg.
I never noticed the Keyblade in the back. Let's go.
All right, so it's, okay. It's
disheveled. Yo, Gibby, you, me, Keyblade battle.
There's just a wall that says FR for Freddy. So this is
I have a Keyblade too. I can.
And there's also a picture of pizza. They do know what
it would be 2 against 1, and that wouldn't be fair.
No, I can fight you too.
Okay, then it would be 2 against 1, and that wouldn't be fair. 1v1v1. We're all just we're all just slamming. Yeah, okay, be very careful with your words, Scotty, please. This is a real human being we've talked to. Please be careful.
I keep going back to the fucking Stitch line time period because I'm trying to think that doesn't match up with Freddy Fazbear's Pizza as described.
Good thing it doesn't matter.
The rest of the Stitch Rate stingers, is it?
Okay, but you're forgetting. Gibby's about to bring up Freddy's is a brigadoon.
All right, I'm doing it. I'm hitting play.
Yeah, their cell phones don't work. Creepy. Also, Devon has gauze on his arm like he was hurt recently. They make their way inside the building, and we get a flashback to when Devon discovered the building. Devon was mad about being left behind at the school, so he snuck out at night. He decided to just walk around in the dark to lose himself, and then he stumbled on Freddy's. This raises the question of if Freddy's
are allowed
is
to do in the modern
a brigadoon.
Era.
Maybe not really like a brigadoon,
No,
but more like an
you remember
evil room of requirement. Like it appears to people who it is trying to hurt.
Okay,
it's a karmic apparition. Like I think it's.
I think he's right about that.
Expansion.
Because it does seem like there's a lot of like Fetch and all this other stuff. They seem like targeted hauntings. Eleanor just so happens to go to the girl that would be useful for Eleanor to go to. I think they're targeted hauntings. So.
Dude, I have
really
so many
weird
thoughts
if this
about
town
that.
did actually have a Freddy's that then it
field to
closed
find
down and was overgrown with vines. I think it's
bro.
more likely that this Freddy's like teleports around to go to places that it's not supposed to be in order to harm the main characters of the story. It's a teleporting brigadoon. My biggest piece of evidence for this is that this is when Devon's at his loneliest. It is always in the depth of loneliness when evil creeps in. And so the idea is that the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza materializing there.
Never heard of Freddy's before, is it might just be location. Because like for places here, it's
very popular in Utah and Tennessee and nowhere else. And because in Dance With Me, she's definitely in Tennessee, and there's like, yeah, Circus Babies. That's just open down the street.
Classic Tennessee location. All right, let's keep going.
Evilness creeping in. I also think it just makes the story better to think about it that way. Freddy's is a teleporting brigadoon. I've seen some commentary from people saying that not everything is the field. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Let's talk about that after the next Stitchline story. Ya doofus. They go into Freddy's. We get multiple pages about what Freddy's looks like, but it's deserted, so it's really what a deserted Freddy's looks like. Something we've gotten multiple times in this series so far. I will note that there's a sentence where the text says, "He was more comfortable being here today than he had been the day before." So my whole rant in 1:35 a.m. about the use of the word today is kind of invalidated. They do use it in other places. It's just still really weird to read. The whole story is in past tense, but then it uses the word today. It should be that day, although maybe not. What do I know? I'm not a Scott Cawthon man, New York Times bestselling author of 5 Minutes of Freddy's Fazbear Frights number 3, 1:35 a.m.
So it might just be like a regional difference or a writing preference.
Yeah. I don't know how to write either, so I sympathize.
They see the animatronics. Kelsey recognizes them as animatronics. They see a...
I have some bad news for you. So you ever heard of a degree?
Yeah.
You ever heard of creative writing degrees?
That's crazy. You mean playing the lottery with life?
Has one.
You mean playing the lottery with life?
We get those in Ohio. It's pretty wild, actually.
The lottery?
No, creative writing degrees, English degrees.
You didn't get it in Ohio. You left state to get it.
Corey, you missed the whole Ohio bit earlier. Just trust me on that.
I got it in Virginia. What are you talking about?
Okay, let's continue on before Corey ducks, isn't he?
A bird and a bear and a rabbit. They
You
would
live
go to
at
Pirate's Cove,
118.
but Foxy's hook is sticking out of the curtain. It's too scary, so they decide not to go there. Instead, they go to a back room. On their way through the building, we get this paragraph. Although the interior of the building was damp and there was mildew in places on the ceiling and the walls, it didn't have the trashed look you'd expect in an abandoned building. It seemed like the restaurant had been closed and no one had been inside of it since. Brigadoon.
Yeah, you know about that, wouldn't you?
They go to the back room and they see the extra heads for the characters. They see Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica, but they also see a dog's head.
Oh, man. Oh,
shit.
Did he make this before the movie? No, he didn't. This is after the movie. This is after the movie.
No.
Obviously.
Now we have
mentions in a second he thinks it's Foxy, and they don't. Well, Corey, he mentions in a second it's probably just Foxy, and they misinterpreted because they don't see Foxy.
Or it's Sparky the dog, like when 8-Bit Ryan made that video.
Why is Foxy's head off? Who took Foxy's head off? What the hell?
What?
Who took Foxy's head off?
It's just Andrew.
Oh, no.
Running around
in FNaF 1, Foxy's out of order because the pleasure he's based on is missing its head. Oh, Dream Theory. Dream Theory confirmed.
Shit.
And I think dog's head...
That's the head of the Foxy.
Dude, what if we're in Proto Freddy's and it's Bub? Imagine.
Me when Bub shows up.
Head is really Foxy's head because
Sorry,
they
I
the real Foxy
hear the name Bub without thinking of that. Like,
we get 3 pages of descriptions as they find a golden Freddy suit in a back room and then drag it to the main show floor. Devon makes a comment that the suit would be cool if they could put it in Kelsey's hangout.
Hold on, Gibby's about to read like the entire springlocking scene and it rules.
All right.
Because it's yellow and Kelsey's hair is yellow because he's blonde. It's important that Kelsey is blonde. Remember, Kelsey is blonde. Mick is sent back to get supplies from the back of the restaurant, and while he's gone, Devon suggests that Kelsey gets in the suit to try it on. Kelsey obliges. And my stomach churns. Kelsey fits into the suit, and then he starts to move around, and he does a little dance. Now, before I read this next section, I feel the need to point out that many of the stories have been written as if the reader is not familiar with FNaF lore. They spend pages upon pages explaining what Freddy's is, and it's almost written like the reader is supposed to be as clueless as the characters.
Yeah, so for us, the second he gets into that suit, we already know, he's cooked.
Yeah,
There's sometimes dramatic irony there, but most of the time...
This is the thing I used to say, I kind of became a running bit where, like, we were watching, like, Disneyland shows that, from, like, Disneyland Paris or whatever that we're never going to have the chance to see, like, on YouTube.
Yeah.
And there was a bit where, like, the wizard comes in and it's like, now, Mickey, you can't do any magic until you've, like, swept this place up. And I turned to her and I said, now, Corey, this is what's called Hitchcockian suspense.
So when you know there's an animatronic. Animatronics work by moving pistons and stuff. There was a bear.
No, what's funny about Alfred Hitchcock is that he has the word cock in his name.
I can't believe he hitched his cock to Ian and got named after it.
We're gonna keep going.
His name was Freddy. He is brown. So it's questionable if you're supposed to know that this is Golden Freddy and that Golden Freddy is a springlock suit and that if you move a lot in springlock suits you can get dead. But no matter what you're thinking, we now get to find out. Kelsey starts to dance. Kelsey started shrieking with the first snap, and the sound wasn't the bad part. It was bad, yes. But the bad part, the really, really bad part, was the way the suit started jerking in a spastic, horrific dance. It looked like the moth-eaten, mildew-blotched gold bear was convulsing. But it wasn't the bear. Devon knew it wasn't the bear. It was Kelsey. What did I do? Devon thought. Kelsey's shrieks stopped, like someone or something had severed his vocal cords, and the suit went still. That's when Devon noticed it was turning red. Deep, dark, wet red.
Whoa,
is that?
Like me.
Mick pointed. He dropped to his knees. That's blood.
What?
Yeah. That was
May
blood.
Turning red.
Devon sat back on the floor and
I thought you said like me.
So he used the projection technology to make the suit not look bloody, and then just replayed the events that already happened to him in the suit again.
Yeah, see, the projection thing doesn't. We'll get to it when we get to the end of the story and we actually get into discussing.
The blood saturated the bear's matted fur in seconds and began.
Kelsey this is all a trick. Kelsey's just on his period, all right? Like,
pretty bad one. Pretty bad one.
Fooling on the floor.
Yeah, it's a bad
because
one.
the linoleum was blood red, Devon's blood blended with the floor. The only reason Devon could see it was that Kelsey's blood was moving. It had formed an amoeba-like puddle that seemed to be crawling away from the now saturated bear suit. First of all, chilling depiction of a child dying. Second of all, I think that's a typo. It says Devon's blood was pooling.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be Kelsey's blood. I think it says Devon's in the Kelsey there. Get it together, Scott. Sorry, I felt like we needed a moment of levity before we continued.
Take a sniff of
let's
it to tell
continue.
if
Devon
it's
stared at the
normal blood
moving
or period blood.
It looked like it was a living thing.
This
a
is
thinking,
wild.
red liquid lake stretching out,
Lake,
seeking.
huh?
Devon scooted
Liquid
even further
lake.
Oh,
away.
yeah, okay, yeah, red lake.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is an
I like that.
interesting.
I'm picturing everything he's saying in a red floor, blood leaking onto the floor from the costume. So what you're saying is that this room is a dark room where the only thing you see is a yellow bear standing on top of pure red?
Well, yeah, me and Corey brought this up because we pointed out this is basically when we see one of the few times we see a spring locking in action. It is very similar to how he twitches at the end.
That's why we pointed it out, because it's so similar to what we see in the Fredbear at the end of UCN, of like, that's how they describe the spring locking, just without the blood. Which they should have. UCN, Scott, stop being a coward. More blood, please.
Hey, we just got bodies and Secret of the Mimic. We're building up to it.
Okay.
He groaned and dropped his head into his hands. This isn't what he meant to do. He planned to trap Kelsey in the bear suit and leave him like that for an hour or so to freak him out, as payback for what had happened. If he'd thought for a minute that this is what would... He was angry, yes. Jealous.
Oh my god, a prank went
Since
too far.
Friday afternoon, and maybe even before, he'd hated Kelsey more than he'd ever hated anyone or anything. He'd even hated Kelsey more than he hated his missing dad. He'd hated Kelsey because Kelsey had everything Devon wanted. Just when it was looking like he had a chance with Heather.
Does. Kelsey's spirit is like, he finds kids that are almost on a serial killer streak and shocks them out of it by dying. Connie,
maybe
find that meme that I suggested and you edited for me.
He wasn't even given the opportunity to find
Give me
out.
a sec.
At the pool, what you do. Please find it.
I'll find it. Give me a sec.
Kelsey swept in and made friends with everyone in like 2 seconds. Devon had been trying for his whole life to make one friend other than Mick. Kelsey had no right to have everything come so easily to him. But that didn't mean he deserved this. He wiped his face and looked at Mick. Mick was sitting on the floor on the opposite side of the bleeding bear suit. Yeah, sure, bleeding bear suit. Devon was still deluding himself. The bear suit wasn't bleeding. Kelsey was. Devon heard Mick hiccup and realized
what
Mick
if
was
Fredbear
crying.
is just on his
dirty
period?
face
You
was
guys need to
streaked with
stop
tears,
reading.
giving him a strangely tribal look, like he had vertical stripes of war paint on his...
That's interesting.
Sending this in the top
That's
secret.
interesting.
Sending memes in the top
agony
secret.
tears. Agony tears. Because war paint is black.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
He got that agony tears.
Cheeks.
Which, okay,
Poor kid.
that is interesting because he's saying his face is dirty, but it's not like his tears would be dirty. His tears would be like wiping away the dirt, making like his face would be dark, and then he would have like the tear streaks that leave his skin underneath, you know?
Were the boys wearing mascara?
I don't think so.
Oh, they might have been. Never mind, they're wearing mascara.
Scott Cawthon specifically instructed the author, make sure you have these boys wearing makeup.
Purple mascara. Specifically, so when they're
Devon
crying,
thought
purple
Mick wasn't
Oh,
mature enough
that's
to handle
that's
something
why
like
the
this.
puppet looks like that.
And Devon
Charlie was wearing
she
purple
was
mascara.
just slaying the day of.
He barked a laugh.
Damn.
Mick's gaze,
Unlike
which had
Corey,
been
I actually
riveted
don't
on
know
the
anything
bare
about
suit and
makeup,
the
so I'm
flowing
just
blood,
assuming
whipped
that
to
this is
Devon.
right.
Why are you
Mascara
laughing?
is the one you put
His
on.
voice
Is the stuff you put on your eyelashes. Usually, it's
was
not
pitch
colored,
tied.
so purple
Devon
would
shook his
be
head.
weird. But
It's never mind.
It's
I think I'm
quote unquote goop you put on your eyelashes to make them darker and look longer and like thicker.
Why do people want their eyelashes to look longer? My eyelashes fall in my eyes all the time. It's stupid.
It's
To
because
make
long
dull
eyelashes
eyes.
look cool as fuck.
It's for doll
They
eyes.
Maybe it's
they
shock.
suck, though.
But that's
Mick
also
stared
the
at
thing
him
though,
for a
is
few
because
seconds.
of the goop.
Then he shifted his attention
eyelashes
back
don't fall
to the suit.
into your eye because the goop is
He
keeping
flinched.
it
Look at it.
attached to
It's
another
still
eyelash.
moving.
Oh.
He's still alive. We have to get him out of there.
He's alive.
Devon glanced at the suit. It kind of pulsed, like it was a
He
large
might have
bloody
been, is
heart
the
getting
thing.
in its last beats. He didn't feel like he was really there
As
anymore.
William says later, it's a very slow death. But as long as we're already punctured, so
Yeah.
Obviously he was, but he wasn't. He was back
I
in
mean,
the
but
past.
he's already started the
He was
drowning in
watching
your own
Heather,
blood
wishing she would
process
notice him.
that
He was
describes.
relishing the moment when she said his name. He was listening to her talk about justice in social studies class. He could see her in her red sweater, and he could hear her tinkling voice. I think justice is payback. Payback. That was all he'd intended to do. He wanted justice. Payback. Kelsey had hurt him. He made Devon feel like he might be part of something, and then he'd thrown Devon away. It stung, like being stabbed
Bro,
with
you
a
knew him
sharp
for like
object.
2 days.
He just wanted Kelsey to feel something similar. And maybe he'd wanted Kelsey to end up
Isn't that how high
scarred,
school
like
is?
Devon was scarred by every rejection he'd endured.
True.
But he hadn't wanted this. Not this. Accidents happen, Heather trilled in his mind.
Look, despite
Mick studied him for
everything,
several seconds.
the scene of the bite of 83 and then the text accidents happen. It's that's so good to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's so good to me, dude. Just those two together.
Yeah, their dynamic is similar to Mike and Cece, where one's just like, man, fuck you.
They're like the same. Although
Then he slowly scooted away
with
from
the
Devon.
idea of like
Did
Kelsey's
you
life
do
is
this
so
on
much easier
purpose?
than mine. Kelsey gets
Devon
everything
didn't
I'm
answer him.
supposed to.
Did you?
Kelsey.
Devon
thought I
tried
was
to
part of
moisten his
something and
mouth
they-
enough
like,
to swallow.
Maybe not the part
Did
of
you
something
murder
that threw
him?
him away,
Mick
but like that
screamed.
is very
No.
older sibling.
Devon shot up off the
sibling
floor and
type,
started pacing back and forth.
thoughts,
Suddenly,
especially
tears...
if you have like an abusive dad who's pitting you against each other. The idea of like, oh yeah, everything was cool until my little brother showed up, you know, and now he gets all the attention.
Play.
That kind of
pooling
thing.
from his eyes, and he couldn't stop them. No! But what just happened? Mick hugged his knees and rocked himself. Devon stared at the bloody suit. He rubbed his face. I wanted to get back at him. By killing him? Mick scrambled to his feet.
Killer?
No! Then what? When I was here before, I found the suit. I tried to put the arm on. His words distorted his sobs, he knew. He could see Mick concentrating, trying to understand him. The suit has these locking things inside. Once you snap it in place, it's almost impossible to get it off by yourself. Devon tapped the gauze on the back of his hand, where he torn off some skin escaping the suit's heavy arm. So you knew what would happen? No, I mean, yes. No, I mean, I only wanted to scare him. I figured once he was locked in, we'd leave him in this place until sundown, just make him sweat a bit. I wanted him to feel something unfair, like what he did to
Probably still would have died from the sweat, too.
us. Like what I felt when he and his neighbor drove away.
Feel something
I
unfair,
wanted
like
him
what
to
he
be
did
hurt.
us.
I didn't want him to actually get hurt, though. Not like that. The golden suit shuddered, and Kelsey let out a gurgle. He's still alive, Mick whispered. He started toward the suit, but Devon grabbed his arm. Don't touch it. Mick broke free, stared at Devon for a second, then he ran toward the building entrance.
Kelsey, like,
we have to get help.
After they leave, and that's why he's
Devon
alive.
ran after him and grabbed his arm again. We can't do that. What? Why?
Like,
we'll go to jail.
There's a kid in
You'll
here.
go to jail. You want me to go to jail? No, of course not. Haven't we always been in it together? Well, yeah. We're in this together, too. Devon turned and looked at Kelsey and the blood on the floor. The red rivulets weren't spreading as quickly, but they were still moving, crawling like an army of red soldiers across the linoleum. We can't possibly get him help fast enough. He's lost too much blood. If we try, we'll only get ourselves in trouble. Mick stared even harder at Devon. Are you even sorry this happened? Of course I am, Devon yelled. Mick held up his hands. Okay. He took a ragged breath. Okay. Devon realized he was shaking.
He's a good reader.
He felt tremors in both of his legs.
Yeah.
He had to concentrate to stay standing.
He did also watch him kill a bird.
He was a murderer. A chill skittered along his neck.
Yeah, so
Mick rubbed his nose and looked at Devon
valid.
as if Devon was going to make everything better.
Acting like this is
Devon
valid.
would never be able to make everything better. We can't undo what happened, he said. We? Mick objected. You make it sound like I was part of it. I wasn't part of it. Okay, me. I can't undo it.
He's so real.
So from here, we have a choice. Either we tell and I go to jail, or we don't tell and I don't go to jail. Either way, Kelsey is the same. You're saying we should leave him? Mick's voice was hushed. Devon took a deep breath and let it out. Yes, that's what I'm saying. For at least a minute, the boy stood there. Outside, a crow cawed. Another answered. Do you get it? A crow pooped on Devon's shoulder, so he killed the crow. And now that Mick and Devon are talking about their fate, there's two more crows talking outside. The crows are the boys or something.
So harkening back to now, Devon is freaked out. He's hearing the crows, and there's the thing of, oh, that because there's life. He's seeing the value of life within the crows now as well, because Kelsey straight up died.
Yeah. And it's just like the bird pooped on him, which inconvenienced him, so he killed it. And Kelsey was about to take his girl or something, but not really, because it wasn't his girl, but so he killed him.
Oh, and it's two crows, because these are the two left that witnessed the death of...
Symbolism. That is the longest passage that I've read out from any of these stories, because, like, wow. I saw that as, like, a movie in my head. That was just one of the most disturbing things I've read in this series, at least. Not, like, the most disturbing thing I've ever read, but definitely the most disturbing thing I've read in the Fazbear Frights Five Nights at Freddy's series. Also, the knowledge that there's still 30 pages left in this book, we're only a little more than halfway, gives me just, like, mounting dread and anxiety, because I know the rest of the story is going to be the fallout of this event. That's its own kind of anxiety and terror. Did I say this is my favorite book yet? Because it is. Poor Mick, dude. Like, yeah, it makes sense to not tell on Devon so that he's spared, but at the same time, like, isn't that justice? You accidentally get someone killed, so you have to face justice? They're just kids, and it was...
Crying child. Does that make Mick Bonnie Bully?
No, because he helps lift him. He helps lift him. Bonnie Bully helps lift the kid into the mouth. It's the two of them.
Yeah, but Mike didn't know he was gonna die.
Obviously, it's not a perfect parallel, but I don't know. Maybe Mick's Elizabeth.
See, Bonnie's ranked above this, and Gibby's ranking. Gibby's crazy, bro.
It was an accident, so he probably wouldn't like go to jail. It's definitely not like murder, but justice would be the system working, and so now they're kind of like acting against justice. That's why it's wrong to lie. Also, when it said that the blood was seeking what? Baby. Seeking revenge, seeking justice, seeking Devon for revenge and for justice. Also, and this is just smart writing, you'd think that all the justice and payback stuff was just leading to this moment so that we'd understand what's actually going on, but no, it actually comes back later in a much stronger and more meaningful way. This isn't the climax is still coming. They go home, they go to school, Devon notes how silent Mick is, they're both in shock. The shock then actually breaks when Devon is in class and the teacher notes Kelsey's absence. I will say that I find this very unrealistic. The parents would have noticed Kelsey not coming back the first night and alerted the police, and then everyone in town would have pretty much known immediately there was a missing kid. For reasons that we'll learn later, it does make sense.
Why do the teachers have a fake kid on their roster? That's so
exactly.
Weird.
Like, again, once we get to the ending, we get into the whole gainax endingness of this, but...
Maybe Kelsey was a real kid, but then he took his place.
You think he would be like, it would be like that Ghost Stories episode situation where he's like, and no one talked about Kelsey as if he never existed. you know?
All I'm saying is, does a ghost, like, damn it, now I'm gonna have to go through, re-enroll for all my classes at another school. But I gotta
That's why this didn't happen. But reading this for the first time, I was like,
why the hell
there's
do
no
they
way
keep
it would
going
take
to
until
school?
Wednesday for the school to start talking about Kelsey's disappearance or for the police to be called. We get some pages of dread and anxiety from Devon and Mick. Mick becomes very ill and starts missing school. Devon has to go check on him. We then get this interaction between Devon and Mick's mom. He felt like he had bugs crawling up his arms. It was her hug. He felt the same every time his mom had hugged him during the week. He didn't deserve hugs. "Do you want any soup, dear?" Mrs. Callahan asked. "There's plenty." Devon shook his head. "Nah, no thank you." Mrs. Callahan chucked him under the chin. "You boys are growing up so fast." She bustled away. So finally, someone says that Devon is growing up. That's what he wanted the whole time. Now, she said this because he was polite and he corrected himself from saying nah to saying no thank you. But what really caused him to grow up was the thing that he did, the killing the boy. Yes, being an adult is defined by making mistakes but continuing with your life like anyway. Obviously, that was pushed.
Almost like a first kill kind of thing in hunting, But it's like you gotta take your boy hunting so that he can have his first kill or whatever. Southern things.
Southern things.
That's
funny.
Southern
Up
the
to 11
US,
because the
not in
mistake
general.
they made was killing a child.
Southern things
but that's the point of fiction. I talked about this in my Lonely Freddy video, but there's going to be things that happen in your life that are bad. And when you read a fictional story, it'll never be as real as reality. And so what you should do in a fictional story is dial things up to 11, so that what you feel when you're reading this almost approaches the more mundane problems you'll have in your life. So like in your life, you might feel guilty that you cheated on a test, or that you killed a crow. And so when you read a story about someone who killed a child, that will almost touch your feelings about cheating on a test. The characters do the worst thing you can do by accident, which is kill someone. And so his grand struggles in this piece of fiction are almost real enough that we can relate to them with our minor struggles of, again, like cheating on a test. We get a cool scene of Devon convincing Mick to cover for him. Devon is going to go get Kelsey's body and hide the evidence, but he tells Mick he's going to go check on Kelsey to see if he's still alive. He's been there for 6 days, and they have a conversation about, oh, it's been too long without water. Oh, he was bleeding out. No one would find him. But Mick is still thinking, like, oh my gosh, what if he's still alive? So Devon's going to go check on him. And if he is still alive, he's going to render first aid and then go get help. Devon tells Mick to tell Devon's mother that Devon is staying at Mick's house so she doesn't go looking for him. He also tells Mick to tell their teachers that he's homesick so they don't go looking for him. This is to give him enough time to hide the body. "You're a good friend," Devon said. Mick grinned. So now he's lying to Mick. Mick is obviously naive if he thinks Kelsey might still be alive, but I also understand that he's so upset by the thought of him maybe being alive and them not doing something about it, that he's just glad that Devon's going to check. That gladness is overwhelming his logic and the fact that obviously Kelsey is long dead.
And Devon goes back to
Freddy's. He prepares to remove Kelsey's body and clean up the blood. He looks inside the suit.
Five Nights at Freddy's teaching good lessons to your children. Don't be alone in a public space. Don't follow adults to a secondary location. Throw a wallet on the ground and go, street smarts, and run away from Springlock.
Himself to see the body, but he can't see anything.
Yeah, that's what Timmy did.
He can't see Kelsey's dead face through the eyes of the Fredbear costume. Nothing was inside of it. Had the bear suit cut off Kelsey's head? Yeah, and done what with it? Ate it? It's like the story in the beginning with the bounce house.
That's a little on the nose. That's a little on the nose. That's a tad on the nose.
Well, actually, it's a little under.
It gets more on the nose. It gets more on the nose in a sec, but
the yellow bear ate his head.
Under the nose is where the mouth is.
The yellow bear ate his head.
Was eating the child. This is a callback. Even in that story, the vinyl, the bounce house was red with blood, like the red linoleum is red with blood. I get it, it's reincorporation. Goosebumps sprang up on Devon's arms because he was reminded of his bounce house story. If a bounce house could eat a toddler, a bear costume could eat a teenager. Oh, never mind, the book just points it out.
Oh, never mind.
That's whatever, that's probably the one blemish I have on the story so far. There's a groan, whisper sound throughout the building. It's almost like it's breathing, like the building itself is alive now. Devon puts his hand down through Golden Freddy's mouth to reach inside to maybe feel Kelsey's body. But when his arm is halfway through, someone yells, "Devon!" and he yanks his arm out. But as he yanks it out, Golden Freddy's mouth closes. His bone breaks. He vomits. He screams for help. He tries to get his arm out, but he can't. It is snapped and it's stuck. He tries to leave and walk away from the suit, but it's too heavy for him to drag by his broken, snapped, and half-bleeding arm. He's too far away from any source of water. His cell phone won't work.
So in the novelization of the movie, when Max gets chopped in half by Freddy, the kid actually is calling to her from inside the Freddy.
Yeah, and
bleeding
well, that happens in the movie
too.
Oh, it does? I don't know if it spoke.
Like losing your head has very specific imagery in FNaF, used like at least up till Ruin, right? Like Ruin uses it a lot. It's like, hey, this really yellow looking bear doesn't have his head anymore. What do you think about that? Like it's very specific imagery.
No one's going to look for him there. In fact, Mick is going to lie to people and try to dissuade them from going to search for him.
But not enough for it to be as noticeable. But it's definitely been a thing. And my first thought was like, if you want to be a pirate, you have to lose a hand and an eye.
Yeah, if I look tired, I am on painkillers for my broken ribs. Okay, sorry, this is just 200 now, so I'm gonna say that every once in a while.
Yeah. Ribs broken by Golden Freddy, obviously.
All right, let's continue.
Devon is now going to die.
I'm wondering if anyone else knows like when time, because I swear there was like an employee that broke an arm in a springlock suit maybe or something. Like I know there's other references to people getting their arm messed up in FNaF. I just can't think of
Arnold.
Yo, Mick.
Yeah.
That is payback. That is justice. That is karma. That's the irony of the suit killing him. And then comes what I believe to be the contentious part of this story, the ending. Or should I say, the 3 endings. Because we get 3 different endings to this story.
It's just like
First
Return of the
is
King
Devon's
or whatever.
ending. Now, I think if Devon had ended here, with his arm stuck in the suit, knowing he is going to die, that would have been just fine. We understand what happened. But his story actually keeps going. He tries to pull himself free. It's actually pretty disturbing. It's describing what's happening to his body. It's gross, etc. But as he tries to pull himself free, the mouth actually opens, and then he feels himself getting tugged further inside, and then it closes on like his arm and his bicep, and basically the bear is just eating him. As he's being pulled inside the suit, he sees that there is a body inside of it, but it has dark, black, curly hair. It's not Kelsey, who was blonde.
If I may.
God, this fucking part.
Andrew is the vicious spirit.
So, let me say something. Okay, so, there are multiple options as to who this could be. You know that me and Corey are Cassidy atheists, but curly hair is, Cassidy, what Cassidy means. So if you guys believe in Cassidy, then that's
represented in quote unquote any of her canon appearances. It always has straight hair, pigtails with the girl that kids like to play. Claim is Cassidy, but you know. It's not like Mike has curly hair, and therefore his brother having curly hair would also make sense. But no,
so there's the possibility it's Crying Child, especially with low lighting, would make brown hair look black.
It also might just be the in-universe vengeful spirit, like this universe's vengeful spirit.
Don't worry, I'm getting there. If I may. Yeah. So people have brought up that it could be Renelle because she is also described with black curly hair, but I personally don't think she was planned at this point in the narrative. I firmly believe that the epilogues were supposed to end at 7 and they got stretched beyond reason. You can really tell that.
She has a degree. You should listen to her.
You can really tell that the Cliffs epilogue was supposed to be the climax. We have the Afton mech fight. We have all that build up. We have the characters moving on, and then they just peter around for like a couple epilogues after that. So I don't think Renelle was planned at this point. So really, it goes down to the kid who's stuffed inside Golden Freddy, which is either the Cassidy girl or Cassidy Afton, or it's Andrew. And I don't think it's Andrew, specifically because in the Man in Room 1280, Scott distinctly puts him in an alligator mask. And I think that was because people were starting to think that Andrew was the Golden Freddy kid. And he was like, no, see, he's wearing a different mask. It's not Andrew. So the other possibility is that it's Devon seeing his own corpse, like in a weird meta way, because Devon's described with like black messy hair. They don't ever distinctly describe it as curly, but they also don't describe it as straight. They describe it as messy. So it is basically it goes down to it's either Devon seeing himself or seeing the Golden Freddy.
Any question similar to what I brought up earlier when stream was down? Hey, Connie, you have black curly hair.
Yeah, and you dressed like Kelsey.
Were you in there, Connie? Come on, you can admit it.
I think it's time to admit that we caused everything in this short story to happen.
I'm the vengeful spirit. I think it's Andrew. Given that, I'm just saying, because we know Frights is a one-off continuity now, that doesn't cause problems.
Yeah, it is possible. I just don't think it is specifically because he puts him in the alligator mask later.
Alligator, yeah.
Yeah. Because it seems like that was a clarification of he's not the Golden Freddy kid. But
yeah, that being said, what is interesting is longer curly hair, like say Connie's. Hers isn't curly to the scalp. So it would have to be like a specific type or length of curly hair to be able to tell, I think. Depending on positioning.
And I told you to remember that. If you're a game player, you might recognize this as being Cassidy, but we don't know who this is in the books yet, or even if it is Cassidy, or even what it is. We don't know what this is. The ending of Devon's passage is kind of lame. He gets pulled inside the suit, but there's no description of like his body being ground between the teeth of the bear or being forced down through like the small neck hole of the suit. It's just like it pulled him in and he screamed, but no one heard, and then he dies off page. The next ending we get is the ending of Mick's story, and this is very similar to Millie's grandpa from the end of Count the Ways. He's in school, and he's just thinking about how he's such a good friend, because people keep asking him, where's Devon? And he's lying, because Devon told him to lie, because they're in it together. Mick is such a good friend, the last line of his part of the story is, in it together for as long as it takes. Which is, again, it's irony, because Devon told him to do that, and now he's doing it, but that's really what's going to kill Devon, except for it's not because he's getting beaten by the bear. Again, it almost would have been better if he just, like...
Mick is kind of our Bonnie bully of the timeline.
Oh, Mike will be back with the milk and cigarettes soon.
Yeah.
To death, because he told Mick to lie. Anyway, then we get the real ending of the story, which, as usual, I will read out to you. Kelsey leaned against a column in the rotunda of his new school. He watched the other kids, and he smiled or nodded at everyone who passed him, saying, "Hey," when someone said hello. His gaze kept returning to a couple of boys who lingered outside the front doors of the school. One of the boys wore all black. The other wore ragged jeans and a faded t-shirt. Other kids coming into the school ignored the boys or gave them scathing looks. Both boys occasionally snickered at the passing kids. Kelsey pushed off from the column and strolled toward the boys as they finally sauntered into the school. He stopped in front of them and said, "Hey, I'm Kelsey. I'm new here." Both boys eyed him, brows raised. He gave them each a big friendly grin. "So," Kelsey said, "any cool places to hang out around here?" Kelsey was...
So why is he doing this?
So that is... See, if I can say... if I... was told, you can ask Scott Cawthon exactly one lore question and he will answer it honestly, it would be, what was the ending of the new kid supposed to convey to us? Like, all the other stuff, fun to theorize about, fun to speculate. This, I just don't know.
My working theory is that people were slightly off from the intention, where the idea was that Kelsey went and did this to, like, Devon. I think it could be implying that Devon and Mick were the first incident, hence people knowing him being absent, his parents looking for him, etc. And we never hear any of that about this quote-unquote new school. So it's possible that it's like, he's a projection now, but he wasn't while we were reading, and it's like, oh, that's part of the justice thing, where it's like, yeah, now you messed him up real good, bud.
But the thing with that
this is gonna sound really stupid. This is gonna sound really stupid. What if he's not a ghost, and it's literally just like the agony of that kid dying goes out and brings new kids back to the suit?
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, there is a lot of speculation on what the hell this was supposed to mean.
That's what you meant by that's what you meant by projection? Oh wait, oh yeah, that's right. You didn't say the line. Say the line.
Kelsey's a projection.
Yay!
Everyone press like.
I also just realized, if soaked with blood, then most hair could look black.
See, I was thinking about that. There's probably someone out there that's like, well, it never describes Kelsey's hair other than being blonde, so it's not impossible that he had blonde curly hair.
And the fact that he was surprised by it, I think,
you know what, Shizu,
I think we know for sure it's not Kelsey's.
Under what he said, right?
Like, that's not
Shizu.
Kelsey's, you know.
If we're saying, hold on, let me cook. If we're saying that it's not actually a ghost, but it's just the agony of the kid that died in the golden Freddy suit manifesting and luring kids back where it is that a Shadow Freddy allegory?
That is a possibility. Yes. That is a possibility.
Is it a follow me allegory? Interesting.
Dude, Shadow Freddy's been finding bullies this whole time.
Interesting.
That's why it was outside Mike's window.
That was one of the strongest pieces of evidence that I used inside of my video on Golden Freddy about what Golden Freddy's purpose was in Follow Me.
Oh, yeah, even Z in chat said that a while ago. That's interesting.
Yeah. The ghost the whole time, or he was a manifestation of justice or something.
It's Outcast, but it's 2 again. So it's like a pair of kids, which obviously reflects the previous story. It's really interesting because because Devon, like, they were outcasted kids, but then they like bullied Kelsey, you know, in a way. They were mean. Even if Kelsey had survived, it still would have been really, really mean. Either way, Devon was really mean. He only knows that kids don't like these other kids. He doesn't know anything about them. But what was it? There was something specific that it is also really similar to GGY, where Gregory befriends 2 outcast kids and then eventually lures them both to the Pizzaplex. So what's up with that?
One. We don't know what happens to Ellis.
But who's also a bite victim-ism because of God, David, etc.
It's very... it's very
God,
interesting.
David
Another
adjacent.
thing, though, is if this is like Kelsey's first like incident, then it is confusing that of Kelsey being like, I want to be a real judge someday. Like that seems to, and then Devon like thinks about how weird that is, but then doesn't answer, but doesn't ask about it. It seems like that's implying Kelsey's already
projection. Kelsey, not only do people know him, but he also says in class that he thinks justice is doing more good so that it outweighs the bad.
Well, I think that's he wants to be the one to punish, just like Golden Freddy in the games. He wants to be the judge.
Yeah, actually, there's also the possibility that we read it as nefarious because it's a horror story, and this is Kelsey just like, I'm going to try to befriend outcasted kids so they don't do this. Yippee, yay, smiley face.
I don't know. I feel like that wasn't the intention.
I think he's a fucking
projection. I don't think that was the intention, but that would be funny.
Analysis.
It would be funny.
Okay, now we have to actually talk about the end of the story. Kelsey
he's
was
walking around judging outcasted kids.
The police came to his parents to check on him. So were his parents ghosts? Was George a ghost? George seemed to be like the actual personality that brought the situation forward, that like put Devon and Mick in an uncomfortable situation. So it does make more sense for George to be part of it. So like George is an extension of the ghostliness, but then is his truck? Is his barbecue? Is his money the food that Kelsey brings to school? Is that ghost food? Also, as far as him being like a karmic, cosmic entity, he probably traumatized Heather and all the other guys in the school because obviously.
How long do I have to go to find Kelsey's projection?
Heather deserves to also be traumatized, let's be real.
Oh, I think he made this before the Kelsey's projection bit.
He most certainly did.
Oh, no.
So there's no Kelsey's projection in those comment sections?
Unless I sort by new.
Everyone go comment it right now.
Wait, guys.
Gibby waking up.
No, guys, I realized.
Do it.
Guys, I realized.
Yeah, do it.
By the way, everyone watch Gibby's book club videos. They rock.
Guys, I need you to listen to me. We can solve this the same way every FNaF theorist solves every problem.
Go, chat.
Obviously, he's a Kelsey bot.
Kelsey is a projection.
True.
No,
he crawled out of there. The fake blood finished pooling. He crawled out of there and went to a new school.
He's lost too much blood. If we try, we'll only get ourselves in trouble. The vengeful spirit in the games is doing something wrong because he's told by all the other characters to just move.
You guys don't understand.
Let's talk about it for a quick 10 minutes, then I'll probably get off. So let's see. All right. I'll let the dual processors go first because I know you guys are about to start yapping about stuff I've never even thought of. So go, lay it on me.
I just finished. I just made a Kelsey joke.
I don't know if this was like supposed to be a crying child metaphor, especially since like it gets so in depth about like other things, like Devon's home life, Nick's home life, like Nick existing at all, like. But like the fact it is Golden Freddy is like sus, like especially. Golden Freddy and like the accident did it bite off his
and
head?
The blood pooling like a red lake.
I do think it's supposed to be like evocative. I don't think it's supposed to be like a one-to-one allegory or anything.
Yeah.
I definitely think Devon is a fascinating character because he is being a little shit. He is stalking a girl who does not want anything to do with him, and as a woman, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't
she can suck. She doesn't need to be stalked.
Yeah, but
girls should be allowed to suck without their life on the line.
Yeah, but the thing is, he doesn't, and like, yeah, he is showing traits of like a baby sociopath, or I don't want to use that like term because like there are sociopaths who are perfectly fine people, but
who are normal.
He is showing traits of like killing animals, stalking a girl, not really understanding why she doesn't want to hear about her siblings dying tragically or whatever. But at the same time, he does genuinely care about Mick. He is actually really upset when Kelsey does die. He did not want that to happen. And it does seem to like shock him out of that, like life is meaningless state. And so it is he is a very interesting character from that perspective.
Something else I realized
honestly a very interesting character for a children's book
is how similar, like the book points it out, but yeah, the story he writes about the bounce house is very similar to what ends up actually happening, where he's like, oh yeah, she doesn't like her younger siblings, so I'm gonna kill them. And obviously this isn't real, but it's almost like it's almost like the goddamn field, like he willed it into existence.
Corey, also Kelsey shows up the next day. It's specifically the next day.
It's like almost it's almost like something that it's interesting because it could be a field thing or like general karma, or again it's like shocking him quite literally into reality of, oh, it sucks when people die actually, and that's not justice. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the big part of it.
You're talking about the themes. I only care about the lore. Jesus.
Lore-wise, but I'm not done talking about themes.
But the lore.
I'm just thinking, like, Devon is very much like, I think justice is like hurting people, which obviously I don't think, but he obviously thinks that because of the beginning of the story. And then he hurts someone and realizes, oh, this isn't justice.
Actually, Devon is a YouTuber named Gibby, so.
This is true.
Yeah, Corey, you missed it. Devon is his IRL name.
So he had two. No, his legal name is Gibby.
You don't know. Gibson.
His legal name's Gibby.
Don't you know?
But, yeah, so in terms of lore, because Kelsey is so confusing, that makes any potential lore connections just as confusing, were just like, what were you supposed to get out of this? There is a possibility that Freddy's is a teleporting Brigadoon. There is the distinct they're definitely tying Golden Freddy to the theme of vengeance. So people
absolutely.
who interpret
for sure.
crying child, vengeful spirit. I'm just like, that tracks.
This is honestly, when it comes to Cece as the
and
spirit,
a kid dies in Golden Freddy in a prank gone wrong.
Yeah, so again, I get what that makes a lot of sense to draw parallels to, and I don't think that was an
putting
accident.
my brother in a bear mouth prank. God, wrong. At 3 a.m.
Gone skibbity. Police cops called.
Poppy playtime.
Poppy playtime.
You know how these titles work.
Yeah. I think at MattPatGT would like to analyze this frame by frame.
Got it.
Also, wait a second. Did they finally... I'm about to be disappointed because I know someone in chat would have mentioned it. Oh? They are never watching this part 2 of God David, bro. It did pretty good view-wise, though. It got like...
I really don't know why.
I'm saying it's gotten the most views out of any of the recent stuff, I think. 32.
They're scared of you.
Yeah, it's been doing... It did pretty good. It's because they know that my theory is too cracked and too good that I'd put Tom out of business. Because I'm just too smart.
They're scared.
They're frightened.
It's okay. It's okay. Just means that you're doing too good of a job.
I know. They're just too scared to talk about how freaking awesome it was.
I want to watch them react to our latest Sonic theory and not know what the hell we're talking about.
We'll loop this by Mori Mortar as we finish speaking.
Turns out a lot of our viewers are like, I don't know anything about Sonic, but I just watch anyway, and like,
thanks,
what do you mean that's his dad? Yeah.
Okay, Shizu, what do you think about?
Someone mentioned in chat it was stupid. It was a stupid thing. They were trying to make a joke about Crying Child and Mick being connected. But then I thought about it for a second because specifically we were talking about Mick earlier and him crying with his dirty face. It is specifically in that same exact moment that the springlock failure occurs with Kelsey, is it not?
Well, right before that, yeah.
You're telling me.
Mick doesn't start crying. He just comes in and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And Kelsey's like, "Look, I'm in a suit." And Mick's like, "Oh, okay." And then like Kelsey does a little dance, and then
Devon, like, his attention is focused away from Mick, so we don't get any description until he turns over and he's like curled up on the floor, his face dirty, crying, pissing his pants, the usual.
Which, you know, tracks. You just watch someone die.
Is that in both the games and in this book, we have a representation of a kid who is watching a springlock failure happen, and specifically, he starts crying after that.
Yeah!
Look exactly like, say, the crying children that show up inside of Follow Me.
Yeah!
Me when I'm an allegory.
Crying child watching...
See, I was thinking the implication of what Crying Child saw was a springlock failure, and it freaked him out.
Okay, I'm actually making a video that goes over some of this. There's no way he saw, like, Charlie getting murdered or something. That's just not what it is.
Oh, no.
It's just not what it is.
No, because
again, it has to be specifically a fear of the animatronics. And the most he could have seen is the puppet laying on top of her. And I don't see how he could have, like, even in the shadows, I don't see how he could have interpreted that as the puppet, like, stabbed her.
Yeah, which, can I drop this? I'm gonna drop this.
Sure.
I had a good thought. This goes for literally anyone, but specifically Kashishi non-believers, in general, will love this. So, what is interesting is, I believe in Follow Me, the other child sprites are the same sprite, but I don't think you can see the tears, but I think it eventually, by FNaF 3, but in FNaF 3, like, they're kind of all crying, so it doesn't really matter. Either way, if we believe this fifth spirit is a crying child, vengeful or not, I think it brings a lot more credence to William getting into the Spring Bonnie suit, because at this point there's no way the Spring Bonnie suit will trick the other four.
He's dancing in it, which is clearly
in the room.
Clearly William after imagery of him dancing in the Spring Bonnie.
We're already looking at it. At this point, there's no way that the yellow rabbit has any effect over them. It's like this is like the ending of the FNaF movie. There's no way it'll work. But Crying Child is scared of the animatronics, and if Crying Child was the one walking towards him, I bet he freaked out and went, "Wait a minute, I can scare him away," which I think is a possible explanation of why he got in that suit. That's really cool.
Holy shit. His head was missing. Did the bear bite his head off? Holy shit.
What, the dog?
Yeah.
That has to be the greatest piece of evidence for Kelsey being connected to the Crying Child that I have ever seen.
Or at the very least, Golden Freddy Crying Child.
Once again, if it's Foxy's head, Foxy's missing his head in the FNaF 4 Kids bedroom.
Bite of 87 evidence?
Yeah, he is. That'd be funny if they just messed it up, that detail so bad.
No, y'all will reach for anything.
I'm kind of depressed because now the stream has had to get split into two VODs. Do you think I can delete? I might delete the first VOD. We didn't really go over anything.
No, No, we talked about Ohio.
Yeah. No, I'll leave them. Okay, I'll make it. I'll make it unlisted, and I'll make this one public. So I have a playlist. The first part will be unlisted on the playlist.
If you do that, then like, isn't a part of the book not gonna get covered?
Oh, fine.
You did get a bit into the book. No, you can still make it private, the first part, and then public the second part. But you're gonna like cut off the book a bit. And I feel like the point is that you're trying to have all the books on. Covered on your channel.
Well, because what I'm gonna do is so I'm gonna upload like a slop like. Well, Gibby's video is going to be like 40 hours. We're watching his video, so my video is probably going to be like 80 hours at some point. I'm not going to drop that till way later, but like, and I won't have it monetized. It'll just be like a collection, or I'll make it for charity. But
true flip side disappear.
Then I'm going to make a video going over everything we're talking about in like an actual like video essay thing.
I wasn't looking at the screen.
A while ago.
Hey, speaking of, hold on. Can I drop what I know Connie has probably been wanting to say this whole stream?
Sure.
Oh boy.
Anyone think the Golden Freddy kid from the movie is Kelsey? Shout out.
Yeah, I know. I've been saying that. I've been saying, wait until the Ticket to Fun drops and reveals that the crying child's name is Kelsey.
He is bringing kids back to
There's only one part of it that I don't like, which is specifically the opening showing William taking the golden-haired kid.
Which is odd because he's not in the picture.
If that part just was not there, I would say definitively there is almost a 100% chance that blonde kid is meant to be fake and not meant to be the real Golden Freddy.
But also thinking about the drawing, he replaces like there's the blonde kid in the drawing is pasted over another kid.
Yes.
Is it just because Springtrap also used these pictures to fabricate memories? Maybe that's just what the opening is. Like I don't know if we can fully trust that.
I'm hoping it ends up being that the beginning was just, it's setting it up so that way people think these are the 5 kids. But there was a really
Actually, I lied, Chat. If I upload all this, I'm going to monetize it. It's transformative.
I will add, it is fascinating to me how, like, say, in the Silver Eyes, Michael Brooks was, like, I believe, either the first or the last kid. I think he was the last kid. But
he was the last kid.
Yeah.
Yes, he was the last kid. And that's thought of a lot for
I love that. The first book is so good. Silver Eyes, at least the first one I really like.
But
Gibby says it's too long.
If
it is.
So it's interesting because the blonde-haired kid in the movie was brought in like third or something. And they had like Jeremy be killed last.
Yeah, I always assumed that aside from Golden Freddy, Jeremy was killed last, like even before the Grave Order thing, because William has such a weird fixation on Bonnie. I can see him saving Bonnie for last, and then Golden Freddy, obviously. But
he has a weird, like, almost romantic relationship with Bonnie, the character.
Had the perfect opportunity to give us the Death Order just based off of the behavioral patterns of the characters in FNaF 1, and I'm really disappointed he just didn't do that.
That would have been sick, actually.
To just say, hey, Bonnie's the first person that moves inside of the games. He's the first victim. Chica next. Foxy next. Freddy. Golden Freddy.
It's not...
It actually would have fucked.
It's not the most off. It's slightly off, definitely. I think, if anything, it ended up being one of the few implications we have of these kids' personalities outside of the characters.
Oh, I forgot to ask Shizu.
I do like it because we can tell what they're like.
How did you like my my thumbnail for this video?
I don't know.
I thought it was very beautiful, TD.
It's a projector and Golden Freddy.
I just looked at my phone. It said that, oh my God, T-Dreads went live? What did he go?
He's a projection.
I need to see what this is about.
Yeah, so but
hey, Gibby, good video.
Hey, Gibby, good video. I love book club.
Video.
Oh, hey, Gibby, good video.
Thank you. Gibby just woke up and saw all the YouTube notifications. What did they do? What did they do?
Gibby, you gotta hurry up, order your, make your 40-hour video, dude.
Hopefully, I'll be able to be here for all the short stories in the next book, because I adore all of the shorts in Step Closer. But
and also, like, Connie okay, I might be a little biased, so take it with a grain of salt, but Honey is a creative writing major, and I've read her writing and how she, like, also dissects books. She is good at this. And again, she brings things that, like, she knows because she has a degree in this.
But so does Gibby.
She is generally good to have here, like, as a discussion, because, like, she is someone, like, she's a, let's say she's a what's the word? In the field. In the field. Oh my god.
No. But what I was gonna say is, if I'm not here for Dance With Me, I do want to encourage, after Gibby's video, also watching She's Always Nervous's breakdown, because she had a really good analysis of that.
Yeah, we're almost at 40,000 subscribers. Chat, we need 3,000 more. That's hype. 3,000 more for 40K, chat. Let's go.
Which, what I have yet to see.
Subscribe, so get to subscribing.
I want to be here for the next book. The next book is my favorite. I love all of them, and then I love Bunny Call.
I am probably going to go now because I'm starting to get in immense pain, but I'll let you finish one sentence. Out of the kindness of my heart.
Hold on, wait. Before that.
Wait, let me continue suffering.
Hold on. Yeah, continue suffering for just a second. Hold on. If it will work. Yeah.
Aw, you didn't have to do that. Thank you.
What?
For your ribs.
I received 5 memberships.
So
Let's
peak.
go.
So peak. Can we get a round of applause?
Hey, this is actually all. Yeah, finally all new people got them.
Clap, 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 clap.
God, I can't wait to overanalyze You're the Band, because Corey will materialize here. She could be in the middle of finals.
Oh yeah,
and
if I'm here for any of them, it's gonna be. I'm one of the top 10 Mike fangirls. And not even like I wanna kiss him kind of way. I think he's pathetic and smells disgusting, and I love it.
God, I can't wait to overanalyze You're the Band, because Corey will materialize here. She could be in the middle of finals. Why are we hearing ourselves?
Oh, sorry, I opened the thing up.
No, we see it. You're messing around with your
hands. All right.
I think You're the Band is so interesting, dude.
All right, chat. Everybody say adios. Thanks for coming.
Kelsey really was the projection.
I want to hear everyone say, I'm going to end the stream as soon as I hear someone type Kelsey's projection. Can't be you, Shizu.
Adios.
Bye.
Gibbity, Ohio. Someone say Kelsey projection, I end the stream. The second someone says Kelsey projection, the stream is gone.
Bye.
Kelsey è una projeccione.
What the heck?
Cassidy is the crying child.